Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7. Live on hot7025fm.com.
It's Kristie J from the Chisholm Report. You're tuned in to Hot 702.5.
This is Kristen Gamer, and you are tuned into my mom, Kristie J.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 702.5 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
Come talk shit and politics with Kristie J from the Chisholm Report every Saturday at 10 a.m. on hot7025fm.com.
Yeah, election time's coming. Who you gonna vote for? Yeah, if I was president, I'd get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday. They go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president, yeah. Instead of spending billions on the war, I can use that money so I can feed the poor. Cause I know some so poor. When it rains, that's when they shower, scream and fight the power. That's when the vulture devours. If I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday. They go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president, yeah. I know some soldiers that sleep but they can't dream. Wake up with screams, sounds of M16. So take this medal of honor for your bravery. I wish you the best, kid. You and your family. If I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday. They go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president. But the radio won't play this. They call it rebel music. How can you refuse it? Children of Moses, tell the children the truth, the truth. It's not all that bling that's diamond. Tell them the truth, the truth. Most of y'all wear cubic zirconian. Tell them the truth, yeah. Your soul is worth more than diamonds.
If I was president, all blacks that have reparation, no segregation, feed the nation so there's no famine. Muslims, Jews, Christians, with all whole hands every week on the beach. Party by the sand, word up. Take trips on Air Force One. Don't need to bring the homeless with no sneaks to Air Force One. Better schools in the hood, better teachers for the classes, making money, paying no taxes. Find the best scientists, tell them come up with an answer. I want the cure for AIDS and cancer, but I gotta watch my back. Snipers on the hill with the steel, waiting to JF kill.
I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday. They go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president. I feel the rain coming. Let me play my guitar for them right now.
Let's go.
Refugees. Yeah.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. You are in with Kristie J, and this is the Chisholm Report. I appreciate you guys coming in every Saturday to spend with me so we can talk about politics, talk about policy, talk about how it relates to your life and your family, and how we can be able to use it to be able to fit our agenda. I am a graduate of Southern University, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with a political science degree. I'm very passionate in regards to Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, West Las Vegas in general, but the people of Las Vegas, the people of color of Las Vegas, and the people of what they would call lower class of Las Vegas. I watched a video over the weekend of different organizations that's out there who help the homeless, and it made me go sit in that area in my car. I had a rough day and was feeling down on myself, and I just pulled my car over and was just chilling, trying to get my mind together. And then I realized we get into a point where we're spoiled. We get into a point where our small demands of life, right, don't mean shit. I was watching a lady, it had to be like 9:30 at night, walk across the street with two children and set up blankets and her little perimeter on the sidewalk and laid her two babies down. I cried like a child, okay? I cried like I was scared, okay? To think that there's so many families out there that are one check away from that, one bad decision away from that, one overdraft away from that, okay? And it made me put perspective back in my life and say that your life is not all that bad. I have my problems. I have my issues. I have my things that I sit up and I'm upset about. And, I had to get it together, okay? And then every cent and dollar I had in my purse, I went and gave to her. And then I went and got the babies 2 Happy Meals, okay? It did not say fix their situation. It didn't fix my situation, but it made me understand that even in a time where I felt like I was at my lowest point, I could give to someone, and it sparked something in my heart. So along with that, I just want to say to people struggling, you are not alone, okay? We are all out here. We are all having some problems, and I'm not adding your problems up to mine. I'm not saying suck it up. I'm saying go find a corner, cry about it, and pick yourself up and let's go, okay? This is the time to grind. So don't let it affect you to the point where it keeps you from moving forward, okay? I can say one thing about a whooping. When I used to get a whooping, you get a whooping, okay? One thing it's gonna do is knock you back and make you realize, like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have did that. It's gonna make you think. And I say that a lot of us took some spiritual whoopings over this week. Jump back. Realize that it was either a mistake or it was something that happened, and you got to move forward. You got to be able to move forward. And I have to tell myself that on a daily. So if you're struggling right now with your mental, with your finances, with your everything, take that breather. If you got to scream, go scream, cry, get that out. But you got to move forward. Elections are coming up November the 8th. I am going to go over some of the ballot today. Well, of course, there's 29 things on that ballot, 27 people, 27 positions and 3 questions. I have 3 questions that I want to go over with you guys that are on the ballot for Las Vegas, Nevada. And when we talk about that, I'm going to go over that, and then I'm going to go over a couple of candidates that I'm going to endorse, and then I'm going to go over some candidates that ain't worth shit. All right. And that's really what it is. So, I first want to give, I was looking for the story. If anyone knows, 702-551-5261. If you can shed light on the story of the 17-year-old that was shot 17 times by the police here in Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, please give me a phone call, please be able to speak about this. This has to stop. We've actually had 3 police shootings, involved shootings in the last week. Okay, one where an officer lost his life, one where an officer was arrested for misconduct, and then this one with this teenager who they said had a gun, and he ended up just having a phone, a little phone at that, a Obama phone that you know for sure doesn't look like a gun. Okay, it's not a big, humongous phone. I can't see. If you can't see, why are you shooting at people? Okay, I'm like, I thought it was a gun. Well, obviously you need glasses, because this child had a phone and you shot him 17 times. I know that that some of the city leaders were at the North Las Vegas court trying to be able to get the body armor cameras and stuff like that. They're not going to give it to you right now. They are going to dispute that until they can't anymore, and when they are at a position that they have to give it to you, they're going to retract certain stuff out of it. As tragic as it is, I just want you guys to stay motivated. Please look this family up and be able to send prayers and love their way. Someone had been grooming and working with this child to graduate probably this year, and they did not get their goal. That's where I want us to take a look at, is the fact that somebody has been waiting to see this child walk past them or on a stage with a tassel, wanted to be able to see this child move to the next section, next portion of their life and meet goals. And this will not happen because of something so tragic as the police believing that this child, okay, this is not a grown man, this is a child, had a gun. And before they could even figure out if it was a gun or anything else, they had shot and killed this man. An overkill of 17 shots into this child's body. So I just want to be able to send some love that way. We did lose an officer to a shooting in Henderson. My prayers go out to that family also. The thing is, I'm not here for anybody to lose their life. Period. I don't care if you carry a badge or if you carry a pizza. It doesn't matter. Your life was valuable to somebody, and somebody's life is destroyed because you are now gone. So let's make sure that if we are losing people around us, make sure you give these people some type of love. Send it that way. So I want to go ahead and jump into this election that we got coming up. The importance of us knowing what's on this ballot is so you can make an intelligent decision on what's happening. Okay, and then at the end of this, I want you to tell me if these questions hit home for you. Okay, the first question that is on the state question number 1 ballot, it's amending the Las Vegas Constitution. Let's go ahead and jump into that.
Ballot question. When voters cast their ballots this November, they'll be asked to weigh in on several ballot questions. Question 1 would add language to the state constitution aimed at protecting equal rights for groups who have historically faced discrimination. For a century, advocates have been trying to add a federal equal rights amendment to the United States Constitution. But that effort has been in a holding pattern. The proposed federal amendment fell short of a 1982 deadline because it was not ratified by 3/4 of states.
Senate Jump Resolution 27 is not agreed to.
Now, some states are signing on late, giving the idea renewed attention.
Legislatures in Nevada, Illinois, and now Virginia appear to be giving the ERA new life.
While it's unclear if equal rights will ever be added to the federal constitution, in Nevada, question 1 asks voters if they want to enshrine them in the state constitution. The exact wording says equal rights should not be denied or abridged on account of, quote, race, color, creed, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, age, disability, ancestry, or national origin. Adding this amendment has been a multi-step process. State lawmakers approved the initiative during the last 2 legislative sessions. Voter ratification is the final step for amendments proposed by the legislature. So if question 1 passes in November, the Equal Rights Amendment will be added to the state constitution.
All right. So it's 2022, and we're still talking about people discriminating against race, color, age, creed, gender, sexual orientation, blah. Okay, this is all. It's not that I don't think that we need this. Okay, we most definitely need it. Okay, and that's what's heartbreaking is that in 2022 we still have to argue the fact that if I come in to buy a home and I am a male and I'm in there with my male partner, husband, or whatever, that I can be discriminated against, and them saying that, and them being okay with it. I also want you to know that here in Las Vegas, this is a state where they can fire you because of anything, because it's their right. Okay, so it is most definitely important to be able to say, you wonder why these neighborhoods and stuff like that, or these private schools, you don't end up seeing people of color or people with lower income at them, because they, one, can't afford it, two, are able to be discriminated against about being able to get in, and it's just an ongoing situation where this continuously happens to people who are not in power. You are in power, but if you do not pay attention to what is around you and the people that you put into these offices, you give your power away. Okay. The second the state question number 2 is in regards to, I wrote it down. I got it right here. Sorry. Okay, so it is in regards to minimum wage being brought up to $12 an hour. I'm going to let you guys hear this and then we'll discuss.
At first glance, question 2 on the ballot this November might not look like it does anything. By law, minimum wage in Nevada is already set to reach $12 an hour by 2024. But there are 2 notable changes that would go into effect if the measure passes. First, it would eliminate a $1 an hour discount in the minimum wage currently enjoyed by employers who provide health insurance. Second, it would make $12 an hour in 2024 a constitutional guarantee. Right now, minimum wage in Nevada is $10.50 an hour, but employers who provide insurance can pay as low as $9.50 an hour. Those rates are set to increase by 75 cents per year until 2024. If adopted, question 2 would eliminate that $1 an hour discount. So starting July 1st, 2024, all employers would be required to pay $12 an hour, regardless of whether or not they provide health insurance. Question 2 would also make $12 an hour a constitutional minimum, meaning the legislature wouldn't be able to change the rate on its own, and reducing it would require the passage of another amendment.
Okay, so the second question is in regards to minimum wage. Now, I believe that people should make a wage where they can be able to live life. Okay. There's too many families out there off of one paycheck, and that's because most families right now are one parent, single parent houses. Okay. That's not enough money. Even $12 an hour is not enough money to be able to raise a family. Okay. So if they argue this fact of that, you know that they are not about the people. Okay, because $12 an hour still don't get you shit. Okay, and that's the minimum. Now, this is where I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate. You tell me, why y'all don't ever raise the minimum wage? I mean, the middle people's stuff. Okay, like the people that go to college, or the people that's worked in a position for years and years, or people that's certified. Those people who have additional debt because of schooling, why y'all never raise their stuff? Why do y'all skip over us and either help the rich or help the poor? And I don't have a problem with either one being helped. Help us too, though. Shit, damn. It's not fair that... and I'm going to be honest, and call in if you got a problem with this, 702-551-5261. Biden, call in looking ass, okay? The problem I have with this is that the poor Okay, I don't have a problem with them being poor. I have a problem with them staying poor, most definitely. Okay, but the problem I have is if you're not going to move forward with being able to educate yourself better, to be able to get in better positions, to be able to get off of certain assistance and things like that. And I'm not saying that's everybody. I'm not putting everybody in a category. I'm talking to the ones who don't do shit. Okay, then I don't think you should be rewarded with them giving you more money for shit you're not doing. Okay, me as an example, I got student loans. Okay, and I'm working towards getting that down. But god dang it, I still want a higher wage. I done went to school for years. I done got certified to be able to be in a better position if I needed to be able to move forward. Give me some more money. Shit, I deserve it too. Okay? And it's not always about let's help the poor and let's help the rich. Help the ones that's putting the tax money in there, which are the middle class people that you're overtaxing for the poor, that you're overtaxing for the rich. Okay? Stop overtaxing us and get the money from them. It is not my fault if Sally down the street didn't decide to go to school. It's not my fault. Now, it does fall upon my community, and my community should be helping her to be able to make ends meet. But as for being able to fix it for her, she need to get on her own 2 feet. Now, even with me saying that, okay, I know that some people will be like, well, some people start from where their beginnings are not the same. Exactly. And that's exactly where I'm going with this. It is not fair to say Elon Musk and go against a homeless man outside, and then each one of you pull yourself up from your bootstraps with what you have today and see who wins. No, because it is not equal. I'm not saying that it needs to be equal either. I'm saying you should get what you do. If you don't do no work, you don't get no pay. If you are cheating the people, then you should not get any additional help. All these large corporations that were able to get more money to be able to so-called trickle down the effect of them being able to pay their workers when you didn't do shit. Pay me my money. Don't give it to nobody else for it to trickle down to me. I don't want the trickle. Okay? I'll tell you that right now. Okay? So, minimum wage is a big issue here. Okay? Because, of course, our education here sucks. All right? We're number 46 out of 50. Okay? Or in territories. At one point, we were 49, where the only state that was that had the bigger issue was Hawaii. So we have a horrible system here. So it's not like they're like, education will fix this because we have a wonderful education plan here. It's going to make sure that they get what they need and they can go to college. And then when they go to college, they can get a higher pay because they have degrees and certifications. No, you keep cutting the education fund, and then you get these teachers who ain't shit. There should be a truck driver instead of being a goddamn math teacher, and you put these people in these classrooms to babysit these kids instead of being able to teach them what real is. So the problem gets worse and worse, and then we keep giving money to Hori, or whatever his name, Hara, getting $70,000 more added to his $400,000 salary when you're taking away paper and textbooks away from each one of these schools. Y'all backwards. And it's our fault because we keep allowing these people to get into these positions. Okay, so question three. Question three is basically about open elections. Now, I'm gonna. This is almost like candy for me. Let me let you go ahead and listen to this, and then I'll be back.
First glance, question 2 on the ballot this November might not look like it does anything. By law, minimum wage in Nevada is already set to reach $12 an hour by 2024. But there are 2 notable changes that would go into effect if the measure passes. First, it would...
Okay, so with that, the third question is basically saying, why are we having primaries where independents cannot vote, nonpartisans can't vote, but when we actually come to the election, then you're able to vote? Why not cut out the middleman of that. Okay, so no third party. Why cut out the middleman on that? Okay. Why cut out the middleman and allow? Yep, that was okay. So let's go ahead and go into the. When you keep people from being able to vote, like if I wanted to be able to vote for a Republican candidate, okay, I'm not allowed to vote for that Republican candidate because I would be registered as a Democrat or independent or nonpartisan. Okay, so you basically are using the taxpayers' monies to have two elections when you could have had one. But the argument on this on both sides is the Republicans think that this is a good idea. Democrats think it would be too difficult for the consumer. So let's go ahead and listen to this, and then we'll be back.
Ballot initiative proposing a major overhaul of elections in Nevada is going before voters this November. But what is ranked choice voting? Currently, Nevada has closed primaries and what's called first past the post voting. A closed primary means that for big partisan races, only registered Democrats can choose which Democratic candidate they want in the general election. And only registered Republicans choose which Republican they want. Minor party members and registered nonpartisans don't participate at all in this process. And first past the post voting means whichever candidate gets the most votes, even if it's less than 50% of the total votes, is declared the winner. The proposed changes would make the primary elections open to all. And in general elections, instead of voting for a single candidate, you would rank your preferences from first to fifth. This system is called Final Five voting and is the brainchild of author and philanthropist Katherine Gale. Here's how it works. In the primary, instead of selecting from just their party's candidates, voters would pick a single candidate from a list of everyone in the race, regardless of party. Minority party members and nonpartisans would also cast votes for these races. The top 5 vote-getters then go on to the general election, hence the name Final Five. The general election would have big changes as well. Instead of voting for just one candidate for each office, voters could rank their preference from first to last. So a vote would look something like this, with voters ranking each candidate in order from the one that they like the most all the way down to the one that they like the least. After the election, if any candidate has more than 50% of the first choice votes, they are automatically the winner. But if there is no clear majority, the candidate who got the fewest first choice votes would be eliminated. And their votes would go to whoever those voters ranked second. After the first elimination, if a candidate with a clear majority emerges, they are the winner. But if all candidates are still under the 50% threshold, the elimination process continues. Until someone has a clear majority and is declared the winner. Proponents say this system would give Nevada's growing number of voters not affiliated with a major party more of a voice in the political process.
Okay, so see where I say that it can get a little confusing if it's not a clear win? I won't tell you that I'm totally against this because it makes more sense to me to be able to pick from all the candidates instead of just picking one or two. Now, once again, I've said this a couple of years ago. Well, not a couple. I keep saying this. Is that I wonder if black people decided to, okay, let's all of us vote Republican and then just vote in the candidate that we don't want, so it'll be easier for the other person to win. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but what I'm saying is that was my thought process beforehand. If you want someone to win, you pick a good candidate they can beat, right? So this would go into that, because if you're picking of 5 candidates and then the top 3 move on, you can pick the wrong candidates if you want to. You can pick who you want, but it puts you in a position where you have to figure out, like, okay, is this a good candidate because of what they're doing in their platform, or am I picking this person just because they're the Democratic vote? Okay, this would make the candidates have to stand their ass up and have to come out and show that they actually are nonpartisan on the fact of the people, not I'm a Republican and I'm running Republican, so vote for me. Screw you. We're kind of over that shit because you guys don't do what the hell you want, what you're supposed to, and that's Democratic Party too. You use our vote, and then you don't do shit for us. Our own local leaders will use that black vote if they can pull that black card, and then you leave us in the dust for anyone who pays you under the table. We have that problem here. Okay, so I think that it would actually benefit, but this is up to you and your household. Do you think that this will work for you? Call in or leave a comment, 702-551-5261. Okay, so then we have actual seats. Okay, so we have the U.S. Senate, which is a 6-year term. Okay, and this is in between Catherine Cortez Masto, which is the Democratic candidate, and then also Adam Laxalt, which is the Republican candidate. I'm going to play this video just so you can hear some of the views of how they feel about Laxalt.
Catherine Cortez Masto, and I approve this message.
If ever there was a child of Washington, Adam Laxalt, the son of a lobbyist, the grandson of a senator, raised at one of D.C.'s most elite private schools, flunking out of college. But that's not a problem. Laxalt was immediately allowed into another elite university, arrested for assaulting a police officer, then lying about it when he filed to become a lawyer. Eventually, Adam Laxalt set his sights west, cashing in on his connections to become Nevada's Attorney General, where he used his power to shield his wealthy donors. And after failing in his run for governor, Laxalt returned to his roots, getting more than $2 million to work for a longtime D.C. lobbyist. The charmed life of Adam Laxalt, always looking out for himself.
Always looking out for himself. Looking ass. This is the problem I have, okay? I wanted to be a lobbyist, okay? And when I wanted to be a lobbyist, I thought that I could put myself in a position to find relationships between corporations and the community that would actually help the community plus the corporations. And then I also met people who weren't shit in that position. Okay, meaning that they were there for the check and that they could be influenced. Okay, and as long as the dollar amount was right, they were going to fight for whatever it was that was in front of them. And it soured me. And I think that you people aren't shit. Adam Laxalt is working with plenty of different companies that are not here for the best of the people. Okay, one is the oil companies, the gas company, the propane companies that want him not to move forward with helping with natural or green energy. Okay, and he's willing to do that. They also are the ones that are spiking the cost of gas when they don't have to, so they're gouging the prices of the people. But that's only because they know for sure that after a while, a lot of people won't be using natural gas and things like that. They'll be using solar energy. So they're going to get their money now on you and on your back. And he's okay with that. This is a problem for me. And sometimes it's not always about, I'm voting for this candidate because this is my favorite candidate and she is this and this and this. I don't like her either. She done some real shady ass shit too. But the problem is, if we allow Adam Laxalt to be able to get this position, any type of assistance that we receive here, like even the first home buyers, the assistance that they're speaking of trying to being able to get a stipend for each family for gas, okay, for childcare help, things like this. These are the issues that are these are the benefits that are helping everyday people be able to go to work every day. These shits is going away. Okay. And it's going away because he'll say, oh, I'm going to be able to cut taxes. Cutting taxes mean anybody that needs help, we're not going to help you no more. Okay. And I want to say that at this point, I am voting for Catherine Cortez Masto, because I do not want Adam Laxalt to win. Sometimes it is not about I am voting this person because this is my pick. I'm voting because I don't want this fool in office. Period. Okay, so then we have representatives in Congress. District 4 is a 2-year term. I like the fact that when we pay attention to the terms, because then you know if you don't do your job, we can put you out. Okay, but I want to first say this. First time I met Stephen Horsford, I knew exactly who he was, but he was in a local barber school getting his hair cut. Okay, he wasn't at the biggest barbershop in the city, where everybody knew his name. Everybody knew his name in there. But he was at a barber school supporting Black-owned Nevada business, and that meant a lot to me. I am endorsing Stephen Horsford for November 8th, 2022 election. He is going against Sam Peters, but I want you to hear more about my pick. This is Stephen Horsford.
Paid leave, access to child care, and support for workers were issues before the pandemic, before the war in Ukraine. So when we tried to advance these policies, whether they were in the American Rescue Plan or in other proposals, they didn't work with us to pass those bills. We had to do them on our own. The child tax credit, not one of them voted for.
Okay, so it's important for us to know that when you are trying to get some assistance with childcare, that these are the programs that the people in your community are working on. Okay, it's hard when you see someone who sits in office for over 20 years and the only thing that you can remember them actually doing for the people is turkey drives, or a toy or two for Christmas. Okay, a backpack. I get it. Those are all important. But making decisions to be able to make sure that people can get up and go to work, making decisions where people can be able to get higher pay for their work, making decisions where people can be able to get education without it costing them an arm and a leg because they can't afford it. These are the important things that we need to make sure that's happening. Okay. In this election, we also have the governor, okay, and we have Steve Sisolak and we have Joe Lombardo. Joe Lombardo is the sheriff here, and Joe, I'm gonna tell you, you ain't been doing a really good job. We had a whole bunch of killings, whole bunch of stuff. Under you, we also had dealing with COVID, the COVID shutdowns, the protesting that all of the high rigs were saying that they should shoot these people down. This is also a person that is being endorsed by Donald Trump and his cronies. I have a problem with this. I'm not saying that Steve Sisolak is my pick. I'm saying that the other one ain't worth shit either. Okay? And I don't want someone with a police mind frame, okay, to be the person that's over how we move forward, especially when they already treat black and brown people here in Las Vegas, Nevada, or Nevada period, like shit. I'm not interested in you moving forward, but I did hear your statement, and I will give you credit for this. I heard your statement in regards to defunding the police and understanding and getting people to understand that if they defund the police, it doesn't mean that they're just taking away the money and still leaving the jobs there. There is a way for you to be able to get help to mental health people, to be able to start a line for mental health. So you can call and say, hey, my son has schizophrenia and he is having an episode. So they can be able to send out doctors, okay, and staff that can help you, instead of it just being just a police officer who is not skilled in the fact of mental illness and doesn't understand the culture or the neighborhood or the people or that's in your neighborhood. So I want you guys to go ahead and listen to this little statement this
Jeremy,
clip that we
I actually
have.
had a chance to talk to the governor today about some of those education ideas he floated in his address yesterday, and specifically his idea to provide free community college. I asked him about that.
That's a pretty ambitious plan. How would you pay for that? How would you sustain that? And who would be able to benefit from something like that?
The economy is roaring back right now. I mean, where our sales tax revenues are up, our gaming tax revenues are up. And if there's going to be a surplus, and I think there's going to be, we can allocate some of that money. We're trying to determine the total overall cost of what it would be for the number of students that would be going to the community college and be able to use some of those resources. But I'm committed to doing as much as we can to get as many people as we can covered under free community college or apprenticeships. And at the same time, we're not going to raise any taxes.
And the governor told me he believes in this plan because he says a K-12 education just not enough anymore to compete in the job market.
All right. So I just wanted you guys to hear the statement. Once again, I can't tell you who to vote for, but what I can tell you is that we got to stop allowing them to put these people in front of us and then we have to pick from it. Now, Steve Sisolak did award $50 million towards the Las Vegas Urban League to help with childcare. Also, Nevada Kids, Children's Closet. These are all different organizations within the state that helps with childcare. This is also money that went to help with WIC and early education and early development of children, which is one of my platform things. I'm all about the kids. So I'm not saying that he handled the pandemic correctly. Who did? Who knew how to handle it? Okay. But he did put a cap on it, and we never did become one of like a New York. We didn't become a Florida, a Texas, where it was just outrageous and we could not get a hand on it. He shut this thing down. And you can say what you want to, okay? But I'm with the shutdown. They should have shut it all the way down, okay? No, but y'all spoiled rotten and y'all want to be out and about coughing on each other and everything else, so fine, no problem. But if it was me, I wouldn't have gave you no option. It would have been a total 14 days of total shutdown. We would have gave food at the door. You can call a hotline and say, hey, we need medical here. We need this. We need that. My baby needs Pampers, needs formula, whatever the case may be. And we would have been able to help you that way. But we would have been able to crush this problem in pandemic here in Nevada if he would have been able to actually shut it all the way down. For Lieutenant Governor, you have the Democratic candidate of Elizabeth Cano Barquette. She's going to get someone named Anthony. Last name is Anthony. I'm just saying. Then we have, if you guys remember that there was a woman, if you can call her that, who decided that when we were having the protest here for Black Lives Matter, the George Floyd, she said that they should be shooting these protesters down in the street and that we should not be using our tax dollars to be able to push the agenda of Black Lives Matter. She said a whole bunch of racist ass shit in the last couple of years, and I can't believe she's just still around. She was governor pro temp or mayor pro temp at that position. She stepped down and then went to being the president of the GOP here in Las Vegas, in Nevada. And she continued to say racial ass shit. And this is what her argument was against the NAACP. She's just a bitter person. And every time that she talks, she never talks with love or like. She never talks in a way of being able to understand someone. She talks bigoted. She talks like a racist ass white lady. So let's go ahead and hear what she got to say. So last time that I heard about the way that she spoke to a Republican party at a conference expressing that she just doesn't believe that black people should have additional funding for education. And Let's go ahead and hear what she has to say
Well,
about the
developing right
NAACP.
now, Las Vegas City Councilwoman Michelle Fiore is now reacting to an effort to remove her from office. A group called Expel Michelle, along with the NAACP and also other community activists, they filed a formal misconduct complaint against the former mayor pro tem. It is all over her comments on a local radio show. Now, the group claims that she violated her oath of office when she was heard calling people who signed the recall against her socialists, and they say that she stalked their social media pages. They also accuse her of voter intimidation.
We are gravely concerned about what we've seen in the last few months. There's a pattern that I've noticed since 2017, which is that Fiore seems to think that she can go around lighting these little fires of chaos to cover up her misconduct, and then when she's done laughing and having a good time, she goes on, lights another fire.
Well, last week, Expel Michelle and also the NAACP wrote a letter to the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority to try to have her removed from the board, citing what they call Fiore's racial undertones. Well, the LVCVA says that its members don't have the power to remove her. That decision falls to the city. And tonight, Michelle Fiore is now denying the allegations. Here is what she had to have to say a short time ago about the head of the Las Vegas chapter of the NAACP.
Racially motivated? Are you kidding me right now? This must be their new buzzword, racially motivated. What part of Roxanne McCoy is a criminal is racial? What part of that? What part of that is? What part is the NAACP, if they want to be credible, they shouldn't have a criminal at the helm? What part of that sentence is racist? Okay?
It may not have been the sentence. It may have been the one sentence that you made before, Michelle, that you called people colored in the 2000s. 2000s, okay? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you should look up and see if black people want to be called colored right now, okay? And who the hell says that? Same people that say colored, the same people that say Negro and then say nigger at their house with their people. Okay, I'm just saying. You ain't shit. I'm sorry, lady. Man, every time we talk to you, every time they talk to you, it's always something where you have to, I didn't know what I was saying. I didn't mean to say that. Everything here, you guys are turning into race theory. Okay? No, maybe you should stop saying shit. That's messed up. Call in, Fiona, 702-551-5261. Anyway, the purpose of me telling you about other candidates, okay? Everybody's not my pick. I will tell you that I am and also endorsing Attorney General Aaron Ford. He's been in the trenches. He's been here in Las Vegas. I've seen this man out helping clean the community with his hands in the dirt. Okay, I've seen him dirty, trying to be able to talk to the people and make sure that things are right here in our own city, in our own state. I've seen him go to the mat for us, and I am endorsing Aaron Ford. I appreciate you, sir, and I appreciate everything that you've done so far for us. I am also endorsing Sharonda Summers Armstrong. Okay, if you have not seen her little snazzy posters, she is the lady with the red glasses, which I love. Okay, but she is a person that has been standing on her word. She is here to be able to help the people, and in her position as a state assembly, she could be able to help influence us what we're looking for. Okay, as for being able to make sure that the minimum wage, helping with homeless, helping with the additional things, you need a team. Okay, there's no way that you can go and get go ahead and put in the chat the worst NBA team in the league, worst NFL team in the league. Then take your best player and put them on that team. If you have no backup, if you have a center and your point guard cannot dribble, pass, or do anything to assist, you are going to lose if that center cannot dribble, shoot, pass, assist, dunk, defend. It's the same thing. You can have the best player in the world, but if he has no one to pass it to, if he has no one to protect him if he's on the football field, then you have nothing. you have a good player in a sorry ass team. So that's why I'm asking you to pay attention. And it's not a time for us to say, well, I don't want to vote because I don't know anything about it. Get to know it. Don't be lazy. Figure out what it is that you're trying to do. I want to go ahead and speak on the Georgia election right now, and I want you guys just to listen.
Candidate comes from the church, the other a legend on the gridiron. A high-stakes debate between Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker is underway right now in Savannah.
He said he would not have voted for the Inflation Reduction Act, and I think he should tell the people of Georgia why he thinks they should have expensive insulin and why the pharmaceutical companies should be able to charge us whatever they like.
Well, first of all, may I respond? I believe in reducing insulin, but at the same time, you got to eat right, because he may not know, and I know many people that's on insulin, and unless you have eating right, insulin is doing you no good.
The race got intense following reports the retired NFL star paid for an abortion in 2009 and then fathered a son with the same woman in 2011. Walker denies the reports and accused the woman of lying. Warnock, who's a reverend, is being criticized over his voting record. Both parties are trying to win a majority in the Senate, which is split 50-50. That race making national headlines. And right now, our political expert and host
I can't with him with the if you got an insulin and then you gotta go get a eating right. What is a eating right, fool? Call in, Walker, because I don't know what a eating right is. Okay, if you got an insulin and you got an eating right, all right. I also just want to point out that there was a debate for the North Las Vegas mayor on the 13th, and Pamela, where were you? How do you not show up for a debate? I wanted to be able to say that I thought that both of these women were amazing, okay, in their backgrounds and everything else, but to not show up, to not be able to give the people a moment to be able to hear your platform is very discouraging, and it makes me feel like you're running from the issues of Miss Pat. Okay, Miss Pat is she a dog on a bone. When I tell you she's gonna go for it. And at this point, I'm gonna tell you, Pat Spearman is my endorsement. I will be voting for Pat. So, and because I want somebody that's gonna go to bat, not somebody that's gonna miss the date. I want somebody that's going to step in and make sure that we got what we want. Not someone to send a representative to say, oh, we just could not make it. You going to need to make it to the next one, my love. It's too close to this election for you not to be able to do this. And this is the third time that you have not been able to speak on real subjects, but you're floating on the fact that your last name does sound very Hispanic and black at the same time. It is what it is. Holla at me, though. 702-551-5261. I'd love to speak to you. You guys, I thank you so much for coming in. I have more that I'm going to go over next week in regards to candidates, so you guys can have a roster of who you're looking for and what our agenda is. Thank you again for coming in and sitting with me. If you see somebody out there grinding, let them know you see them shining, and I will see you guys next week, Saturday, 10 a.m. here on the Chisholm Report with Kristie J. Love you. Hot 702.5 FM.